The Highland Hills tower, the skies. But the shadows they cast draw the spirits near. After all,
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are early tonight. We thought we would just go early tonight because we're getting older, and I know I'm getting older, and I've been taking my pain medication that's making me kind of sleepy. So I don't get tonight. I went to get into my silk dressing gown and my big fluffy slippers.
His Grinch pajamas.
Look. It's like I was saying to you the day I was playing the Xbox last night, ladies and gentlemen, and oh my good God, all the children that was on there. Oh my God. And I mean, it's an 18 rated game. Why? How did they get to play these things? Their squeaky little voices squeaking away. But anyway, that's a story for another time, as Mike would say. So tonight, my co-host as Jenny from Emerald Isles Paranormal. Everybody knows Jenny.
Hello.
So tonight, guys, we're going to talk about paranormal locations around the world. Now, I'm going to talk about one location. I think Jenny's got a location she wants to talk about. But I was thinking, hey, Louise, hello in the chat. I was wanting to talk about Japan because it's actually an interesting... Not many people talk about Japan. Obviously, we've got the haunted forest.
Yes.
But I was looking up tonight. Now, where are you? On Google. There is so many haunted locations in Japan. I mean, it's not just that. There's a coal mine in Japan. That's it was built in 1923, where hundreds of men have been killed over the years, and it's haunted. It's now abandoned. There's so many abandoned hospitals. There's obviously you've got the places where the nuclear bombs were dropped, Hiroshima. I mean, there's actually see that building in Hiroshima, the one that's left standing. It's actually haunted. It's actually haunted. That. If you go into YouTube, you look it up. There's been weird orbs seen floating through it.
Now, you see, when you say orbs, now there's a lot of debate about orbs, and I'm not discrediting orbs whatsoever, at all. Yeah, I know.
I like to honestly. Look, I'm going to say about orbs, right? See if they're purple and they travel along, then stop, then go left, then stop, then go right, then stop, then go up, then go down, and then just disappear. I think there's something happening there, right? Okay. I definitely think there's something happening there. But see when it's like when somebody says to me, "Oh, Chris, I see an orb behind you." No, look, what it probably is. It's called dust, right? Yeah. And I've got lights soaring about me, and I've had folks saying to me, "Chris, I seen an orb the other night. It was behind you." And I'm like, nah, that's dust. I dust a lot.
It is dust because, when you move and we can't see what the eye will pick up. And that's Lulu. Yeah, the Japanese are very into the belief of spirits. Totally, absolutely. And when we're saying about dust, now I was going to say dust, I mean orbs. And there's a big debate over orbs. And, and there was one time one person said to me they seen an orb right in front of their faces, and I was on the location, but I wasn't in the same area as this person was, so I have to take their word. And yet they have cameras and everything rolling, but I still never got to see the video. And you have to tread very carefully when you're talking about orbs because we're not experts. We just know being in the field for a very, very long time that we haven't came across them, and if we have. One of them actually made me go a little bit at one point. Someone was laying down on the ground in the Drogheda Museum Millmount, and was where a body had been buried.
Yes.
And the orb went down along this person, went right down, when an orb and dust and the air circulation you cannot see would go zigzag up, down, and around. This went straight down the line of his body. Yeah. And it came around and went back up the same line and came towards me. And that's when I went, and then I said to myself, Jennifer, snap out of it. Stop. And I think it was installed in me when I started out in the paranormal field many years ago that orbs are this and orbs are that. And I have learned, thankfully, what they are. I have learned.
I've got a good friend. His name's Lex Paranormal. I don't know if he's watching this. He despises orbs. I mean, he's always picking things apart when he's looking at orbs, right? And I like to mention orbs just to annoy him. Look, I will say this. I'm going to say this now. There was that UFO evidence that Louise sent.
Yes.
Now I actually sent that to people. I sent it to Dakota, and he says that's an absolute fantastic catch, right?
Yeah, it is.
One of them got back to me just a wee while ago and says to me, "That's fantastic. It's like a big orb." I'm not joking. I'm not hanging with this. It's like a big orb, right? But if you to get up to it, it'd be the size of a van, right? And it was just sitting there. Now, a lot of people are saying it's quite still, but that's a lot of the UFOs are still. Right, but see if you change like this is what's really interesting, right? See if you change the contrast. There's 4 weird orbs all the way around about it, just sitting there.
I will say very quickly, and I know Louise is here, but just in case she's not here for a second, that it is around. It is mountains. If I'm wrong, Louise, correct me. But there is traffic. You can see traffic. You know, so I don't know if one of them would be a street light or a road light.
What I found interesting is, right, there's a very bright light in the sky, right, and it's just sitting there, right? And you think to yourself, I'm going to change the contrast to that. So you take the contrast away down, and then you start to see these outlines. So you start fiddling with the contrast, and you start fiddling with the colour and all that, and the saturation, and you see these wee dots all the way around about it. As if they're invisible to them for the light spectrum. As if they're cloaked. Yeah, they're cloaked, and it was something. It was a UFO that people don't know what it is yet. But I gave them all the details of where it is. It'll take them weeks, probably months before they can figure it out. But it's a mistake. I see that area is kind of popular for UFOs because I looked it up.
It is actually. It really is. That area is another great paranormal. It's a UFOs hunters. Ireland. There's another one actually that I gave to a friend of mine last night. But the one that I do look at as well, I'm going to look it up here now. Give me 1 second. UFO Network Ireland. Yeah. That is the one that I would go to. Darrell Monaghan runs that page, and he, you know, there's everything going on to that page, everything from every county and so on and so on. There's another one, UFO Hunters Ireland, but I like both of them, but I would go to the UFO Network in Ireland. Yeah.
Well, the person I gave it to, I'll not say his name, but he works for the big UFO group in America, and he says it's fantastic. And he's been passing it around. So,
but Louise's video,
yeah.
Louise, I hope you're watching, girl.
I would personally put that on your channel as a UFO sign, and you'll get views on that.
That would be that's obviously up to Lulu. That's I mean, if it comes from you and it comes from the people that you know that would and Dakota and so on. It's interesting. It definitely is interesting. I know when Louise showed me it last year, and I was looking at it, and I was like, "That's deadly." And now when I look into it even more, it can't be explained.
It can't be explained. It's not a helicopter. There's no. See if you put the heat towards it. There's no heat getting hanging with it.
Aye. Okay.
So there's no combustion of any kind. So it's not a balloon, because a balloon would be moving. A balloon doesn't stay stationary in there. Even the most sophisticated helium balloons with engines on them don't stay completely still like that.
Yeah, and even with engines, that would give heat out too.
Aye.
I want to say a quick hi to Chantel from South Africa. Hi, Chantel.
Hello, Chantel.
From Chantel, and I hope she's going to be visiting me in December. I hope so. She'll probably tell me that, she's probably saying many words behind, the screen by saying, Jenny, because she came over to me last year.
I think, aye, that'll be good for South Africa. They'll have good weather over there than now.
They what?
They'll have good weather over there in South Africa right now.
They do. I think they do. Yeah. I know I was talking to Chantel John the week for a wee bit. We always check in. We'd always like voicemail each other saying, haven't spoken for a few days, but everything's okay and everything's fine. That's what we do. But Chantel was over with me last year in December, and it was such a bloody great weekend. They walked in my house and they dragged themselves out of it because it was a great weekend.
My God.
Chantel, I swear to God, if I need you, I need you now. I need you now. I need a lot of my good people around. That's
actually a subject. That's a place we could talk about near Christmas. Actually, if she's willing to come on the show, is South Africa, because there's a lot of ghost stories for South Africa. Is it Cape Town?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's boiling hot, sweating like a nun in a pawn shop. That's how hot it is in South Africa.
But no, see, South Africa's got a lot of really interesting history.
I could be wrong when I say no, it's not, but I know the place where she lives, but obviously I'm not going to give it out. But no, Chantel doesn't come on shows, but she likes to, she'll comment a lot. But if she's going on any show, it'll be mine first.
Yes.
Okay, let's just.
Yes, indeedly do.
Diddly do.
Is
that right, Chantel, my sister?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Talking about the UFO subject in Japan, I mean, you've got, obviously, there's one famous location that I think everybody wants to investigate, but it's a dangerous location, and you know what I'm going to mention, the haunted forest, the suicide forest.
Suicide forest, yes. Yeah.
I mean, what's your opinion on that place, Jenny? What is your opinion on that?
What I think is what I've read on it. When there is signs, it is notorious, obviously, for what happens inside that forest. And there's signs and warning signs, and there's headline signs. Sorry, my dog's walking around. He's old, and I think he's getting a wee bit of dementia. He just keeps walking around. He just keeps walking around because he's a wee bit of dementia happening, I think. But he walks around. And okay, my love, Mama, sit down, love, sit down. And but there's signs there, and there's headline numbers, and there's so on to say. I'm just getting a message here now from Pamela. Sorry, Pamela. Hi, Jenny. This is Pamela. I'm watching you, but I cannot comment from YouTube. Okay. Go. Pamela, go on to Emerald Isle page. It's also on the Ghost Squad Scotland. I'll mail them to you now. Hold on 1 second, Pamela. Sorry.
I don't understand why she can't comment. There's nobody in my block section except for 2 Egypts. That's about it.
No, I was just like, I just commented back. Just go on to Ghost Squad Scotland, Pamela, that I just sent it on to you there now, or the Emerald Isle, because I shared the link onto Emerald Isle. So with the I'm trying to talk serious, but I'm looking at Chantel's comment at the same time. Anyone that comes to South Africa on purpose is sniffing the songs. Okay. I'm going over to South Africa.
I actually knew somebody that used to work in South Africa in the gold mines.
Did you really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and he used to tell us stories about the mines and how haunted they were, and also the diamond mines.
Would they ever come onto the show?
No, they're dead now, so they're a bit hard. They used to tell me stuff. Actually, my dad, he's been to South Africa a few times because he was in the Merchant Navy, and they used to come in at the ports over there and stuff. But I knew somebody that this is going back to the early 60s. The early 60s, 50s, 60s. And they used to tell us stories about the gold and the diamonds and stuff like that. But sadly, if they were still alive today, they'd probably be about 110.
That would be amazing and I know those gold mines are closed down now because of reasons and so on. But it'd be great even just to be on the land of where the mines were. You don't have to be inside the location. You can just be on the land and
it's the diamond mines too. That's where all the big diamonds come from.
I know. I do know.
So yes, back to Japan before.
So Japan, like I was saying, that there is warning signals barriers at the front. There is phone numbers for helplines at the front of the barriers. These people,
I know.
you know, they walk into
Yep.
that they walk into the forest, and it's a bloody desperate thing to have to, you know. I'm sure, and I think, I'm not sure. I think that these people either reached out for help or they didn't reach out for help. And who am I to say that they did or they didn't? You know, and go in and just thought that there was nothing else for them. I don't know. You never know the circumstances. You never know anything. Just don't. So it's not.
Actually,
I wouldn't know.
Like, see that haunted forest, right? There's actually a really good video out there on YouTube about it, and it's, I don't know, you ever heard? Everybody's heard of this YouTube channel, Vice. Everybody cares about Vice. They've got a video on it, and it's this
guys that walked into the forest.
There's these special guides. There's a couple of guys and there's a couple of women.
Yeah,
and they're Japanese, and they know the place like the back of their hand, but they still would never leave without leaving markers because they know how dangerous it is.
Yeah.
And this one guide's like, I'll take he's in the camera, I'll take he's in, but you can come with me because I need to go and inspect to see if there's any bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And he found one. He found two. He found one that must have been lying for about 2 years. All that was left was bones.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was walking along and he says, stay there. And he told the camera crew, just stay. And he went round a corner and there was one hanging from a tree. And he says, right. So I had to mark it and then I had to phone the police.
Yeah.
I think there's something dark in there. I really do think there's something dark in there drawing them in.
I do hope. I do hope at one point, well, obviously they do the DNA and obviously contact the families.
Oh yeah, they do.
And I don't know if anything from the forest is pulling them in. I think it's because it's a forest that is well known.
Yes.
That when you walk in, you will obviously feel that heaviness from it.
Yeah.
And that.
But this is an interesting factor, right? This is an interesting fact. There's parts of the forest that's got zero life. Zero. No birds, no insects, which is very strange. And there's a lot of people actually don't realise this. You probably can this, Jenny. But that forest is famous for caves. There's caves. It's riddled with caves because it's an old volcanic. Obviously, it's next to Mount Fuji. Obviously, it's next to the big volcano and stuff like that. And it's actually in part of the triangle that goes out into the Pacific.
Well, now let me.
You going there? I see.
That's the thing that we have to talk about triangles, because there's a lot of things about triangles. You have, now you just mentioned about the triangle with the forest. There's the Bermuda Triangle, and then there's a triangle of the castles, sister castles in Ireland.
That's right.
And then you have the pyramids, which is like, if you see it up triangles. So there's a lot of things. And then when you see the say UFOs, they're in a triangular shape.
Yeah.
So what is it about the triangular shape?
You've got to remember, you've got triangles everywhere in the universe. Triangles are everywhere.
And then
if you look at a crystal growing, some crystals are triangles.
Aye, but another thing is, and I'm going to say it, the Illuminati, when they do the sign with the hand, and I'm not going to do it, it's the sign of a triangle, which I'm not going to do it. You're doing it right now, and I'm doing it here.
Don't worry. I get loads of money for, what do you call it, the Illuminati.
Well, I ain't doing it because I know that, they're coming for me in every issue, every form.
Take me away
so the Illuminati. So okay, I'm going to do it. In fact, I'm going to do it. So when they do the Illuminati, it's like a triangle. It's like your eye, So everything is triangle. So what is it about the triangle? What is it?
What that? You do know what that is, don't you? You know what the Illuminati triangle represents.
Well, I know what it is, but
Is there any Americans in? Is there any Americans in the chat? There is. Charles Rude.
Charles,
he's probably got a $10 bill. He's probably got a $10 bill in his wallet, or a $20 bill. I can't remember what
Charles,
one.
do me a favor and check this out, because Charles is from Texas, and he always watches Emerald Isle and Shadow Whispers in the Night.
I know what I'm talking about.
And so, Charles, Chris, ask your question to Charles.
Charles, on the US dollar, I can't remember if it's the $1 bill or the $5 bill or the $10
from
bill.
America.
But one of the dollar bills has got a pyramid on it.
Eric
right?
from America just said yes, there is.
Yes, and if you look really closely at the pyramid at the very top, there's an all-seeing eye, and it's a capstone. Looks like that, and that's the Illuminati sign for the all-seeing eye. But here's an interesting fact that a lot of people don't know. You've heard of the Holy Grail,
The what?
haven't you? And the Holy Grail and the King Solomon. Yeah. You can King Solomon was King Solomon's mines and stuff like that, right? King Solomon was a collector, liked to collect things. And at one time, the Great Pyramid had a gold capstone, right? And the gold capstone was solid gold. Now, do you imagine something that's the size of a car? Solid gold capstone, even bigger than a car, on top of the Great Pyramids. But anyway, King Solomon took that and he put that in the vault, right? And you can look this up. It's quite interesting. And along comes the Knights Templars, right? Along comes the Knights Templars. The raid has mines, the raid where he keeps all his valuables and his shinies and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they find the capstone, which is for King Solomon's, right? Where he puts it in his vaults, right? And on the side of it, there's a name, Jehovah. Obviously, that's the name of God. Right, that's the name of God. Right, that is the true name of God and stuff like that. So they take that. Nobody knows where that capstone is now. Nobody knows where that gold capstone is. It's the size of a small house because it's what do you call it? It's the top of the Great Pyramid, right? Yeah. That's what that represents on the dollar bill is the Illuminati for the all-seeing eye, because you've got the pyramid, which is the for God, and then you've got the eye in the middle, which is the all-seeing eye.
Yeah, you see, and I say Lulu is there saying, "Sure, I only noticed it the other day that the Holy Trinity is in the triangular shape too."
Yeah,
so
that's why Masonic Masons. If you've ever been in a Masonic lodge, which I have, I've had to see it. I got a private tour one day. Have got like, it's weird how it works because the floors are usually black, and they've got a picture of the earth. Oh Christ, I'm going to start with the flat earthers up here. The earth's flat, obviously it can't be a globe because then everybody's hanging on to it as they climb out into the middle of the stage. It's got to be flat, and that's a picture. And then it's got a picture of the world running about, and then there's the big capstone picture with the all-seeing eye.
So
I don't know what they do.
The thing is, right, the music of the Illuminati, it fascinates me. Can I be honest with you? It actually draws me in because I like it.
What music are you talking about?
There's a song of there's music of the Illuminati. I remember
Are you talking about the Knights Templar March?
No, it's the Illuminati. No, I don't know. My daughter brought it to me, and she said, "Mom, this music, I love it, but it's scary, but I don't like it." And I'm like, "Let me hear it." And so I listened to it, and I'm like, "Yeah, shut that off, shut it off, shut it off." And then my other daughter did the same thing, and I'm like, "Shut it off, shut it off." And I know, don't parents come for me by saying my children have internet? Yes, they do, because I need a goddamn break, So yes, they do have internet, and and everything is like kind of like shut down for them, and so on and so on. But things seep through, and there's a certain music to it. And look at what Charles said now. I have all the seeing eye on my walking staff.
Aye, a lot of folk use the all-seeing eye. You don't need to be in the Illuminati to use the all-seeing eye. A lot of people use the all-seeing eye as like a symbol, right? The thing about the Illuminati is this: the Illuminati. Do you know how the Illuminati was created?
I don't have no idea. No.
Oh, come on. Right, you had the Knights Templars, right?
Know, but maybe I don't. But I don't.
You had the Knights Templars, right? Which in the Middle Ages they were hunted down by the Catholic Church because they were getting too powerful, right?
Yep.
Then you had Friday the 13th and how they all were burnt and hung and stuff like that, right? The Illuminati were created for the same reason. The Illuminati started off as a club with two guys. I'm serious here, by the way. It started off as a club with two guys, and what it was the Catholic Church did not allow astronomy because they thought it was evil. They didn't allow science because they thought it was evil, and things like that, and like engineering and stuff like that because they all thought it was kind of evil, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
like scientists, and you had like astrologers, and you had folk like that all go together, right? They all got together in an underground place somewhere. I don't know where, probably in a shed. I don't know. And they started this group and they called it the Illuminati. And for years, all this group did was fascination, like the stars, astronomy,
Yes.
science. And there was a lot of things invented through the Illuminati, actually. A lot of, like, Leonardo da Vinci and all that kind of stuff, and that was tied up in all this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
But over time, it changed. Over time, it changed into evil
Mhm.
because it was seen as a club. It was seen as a club, and this would get more powerful and get more powerful and get more powerful, and they started controlling the world.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
Illuminati control a lot of stuff, by the way, and it's a real thing. A lot of people don't realize this, and the Masons have actually got ties to the Illuminati.
Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah.
There's another thing that I wanted to bring up is, and it could be something completely out of context, it could be, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. It's Friday
Go
night.
ahead.
No, we should probably do it on a show that's Paranormal
What's that?
Uncut. It should be
What
in
is-
another show called Paranormal Uncut,
Right.
for the question that I'm going to ask. But I'm going to ask it anyway tonight, and then
Right.
I'll probably ask it Monday. So there's a thing called red shoes. The red shoes. If anybody knows what the red shoes are,
I've heard about that, but I don't know what it is.
well, you see, that's why it should be on Paranormal Uncut, the show that we do. Paranormal
Mhm.
Uncut is the show that we talk about anything and everything, and
Yeah.
there's a kind of a talk.
We're doing it next week. We're doing it next week. So, what is it?
Well, the red. Well, wow. How do I put it? The Red Shoe Club is, and you will see a lot of people, and there's pictures with a lot of men standing around wearing red shoes and so on and so on. Basically, it's obviously a bad club, but it's about Red Shoe is about. Can I say the word? Pedophiles.
You can say it.
It's about pedophiles. So if you're wearing red shoes and you're in this club, you're a pedophile club. And I'm going to say it like I just said it now. I just said it. But if anybody looks up Google, no, I was going to say Google it because Google doesn't know everything. But
Google does this.
it's red. It's a red shoe club, and when you're wearing red shoes, it's very it's a sign of what club that you're a part of, and it comes along with the Illuminati. And it comes along with sacrificing and so on and so on. So I don't know if anybody wants to look that one up. We will definitely talk about it on the next Paranormal.
Well, I was actually trying to get like an expert to come on and talk about the Illuminati on Paranormal Uncut.
That would be brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. There's somebody I know, and I'm trying to get them to come on. It's like it's a very touchy subject, is the old Illuminati.
Touchy but fascinating and interesting too.
It's even the name Illuminati. Even the name Illuminati is
Charles,
fascinating.
Charles, what did you hear wrong? I thought I heard you wrong. Charles, what did you hear me saying wrong? If anybody has a pair of red shoes,
it says if you tap them together 3 times, you end up in Oz.
Oh, really? Oh, Chantel.
Oh, dear God. That's what was on the other night. Have you ever seen the original? And I mean the uncut version of the Wizard of Oz. And there's a paranormal tied into this.
Yes, I did.
Why am I mentioning it, and why
is it on the road walk? Is it on the road and there's trees behind them?
Why am I mentioning this? Everybody will like, why is he talking about? Why has he went for the Illuminati to the Munchkins? Why has he started talking about this? It's actually really, really interesting. When they first made the Wizard of Oz, and that certain studios in America is one of the most haunted in the world for studios.
Yeah.
And it's for a reason. And it was actually one of the actors that were talking about this before they died. And it's a sad story. See all the Munchkins. No all of them are children. A lot of them were little people, things with people that had stuff wrong with them.
Yeah.
And one of them was really depressed. And the scene where you see Dorothy going round just before she goes to travel, see how the Munchkin army's marching along, doing the dance, and she's walking along. They've cut it out now. They've cut it out, most of the Disney stuff and all that, because the computer. But you used to be able to see a Munchkin swinging and the trees because they hung themselves. And that's a fact. And that bit of the studio, a lot of films have been made there. A lot of famous films like Batman and a lot of the actors have experienced a lot of weird stuff.
Yes, I've seen that clip many times. I've seen it many times. I'm just checking out something here. Give me one tickly boo. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm just checking.
Who's all in the chat anyway? Let's have a look. New subscribers. Hello, new subscribers.
Hello. Be nice, be good.
I would like to thank all the new subscribers that have came, by the way, but I think that was because I get shared out in a couple of big channels that I know shared me out, and that's why my subscriber count went up, because I was shared out. Yep, I heard that story, Eric. I've seen. See, if you go to YouTube, you can see it on YouTube, but you can't see it now on TV. You cannot see it anywhere on
TV. YouTube, you can see someone in the background. What's happened in the background? You can see that, but
yeah, you can. They've scrubbed it out there. You can see something, but you can't see it all.
Yeah. But how they got it, I don't know. Is it real? Is it not real? Is it?
Oh, one of the Munchkins hung themselves. One of them committed suicide.
But the movie.
Yeah, it's been proven. It's been proven one of the Munchkins. They were found hanging after that bit of the movie.
I'm going to say one of the movie set people.
Yeah, one of the movie set people were doing the rounds, as one does do, when they're setting up their lights and stuff like that, and they seen a.
I know. I've seen that video. I've seen that video.
Yeah. And it's documented and all that, because I can't remember who it is. I watch a lot of folk that go around graveyards because I like to do that, but it's Hollywood graves, and one of the guys actually goes to where that Munchkin or that little person was buried.
Yeah.
That hung himself. So there you go. Story for another day. One to say.
See, Hollywood scene is I will say is if people kind of come for me when I say the word malevolent, it is, and it was, and it always has been.
And
there's a lot of people leaving it now because of that things going on. Many stars have passed away, and yes, people pass away. We get that. We understand that.
Yeah.
Life is life, and that's what happens. But everyone that has passed away, big in the Hollywood stars world, if I can say that, has not to say that they couldn't have anything humanly wrong with them, if that makes sense. I'm putting that in my arse, but it's just that the more they talk, the more they are gone.
Hollywood,
more they're gone. Yeah. And it's kind of like more crop at this stage, It's like
I'm needing to get an expert to come on for the Paranormal Uncut for this, because this is going down the dark road to Hollywood. I mean, you've got the Illuminati in Hollywood and stuff like that, but you've also got a lot of weird worshipping, weird things that go on in Hollywood. A lot of weird things that go on in Hollywood. We all know what some of them are. And I'm actually going to see for Paranormal Uncut if we can get a guest on to talk about this. I know somebody is on TikTok, actually. I might be able to get him on to talk about it. But it's Hollywood is rife with it. And we just need, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And
I do.
It's ridiculous. And it's actually that American actor, Australian actor, sorry. What's his name? He played William Wallace. What's his name?
Wow.
Oh my God. No, it's not Bruce Willis, because he's
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson, right? Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson brought out a movie called Sound of Freedom, talking about this kind of same kind of issue. And I actually watched an interview about him the other night, and how he was talking about Hollywood and what goes on in Hollywood. But I'm going to keep that for Paranormal Uncut, because that's deep, dark stuff.
That's a conversation we're not going to talk about tonight, because it's a totally different conversation. And we could
Yeah.
get deeper, and my camera's gone blurry for some reason.
You'll folk watching this the now going, our cameras went blurry. That's what that is. It's the ghosts. The ghosts.
They're watching me. I mean, that will be definitely like we will definitely do a Paranormal Uncut show next week, because we haven't done one in about 3 weeks, 4
I
weeks,
know.
Chris.
No, I know.
So one is definitely updated. So I've written a few things down now. So I have a wee bit of a heading of the next one, the next show of next week that we're going to be doing. And it's going to be dark. It is going to be dark. So, if you've got, sensitive, then don't watch it. And if you want to go get, deep down and dirty into the grinding of the background of the paranormal, and this is not just paranormal.
What's that there? Charles Road, Jenny.
Gone to a haunted tour. I'm sneaking up to investigate in 1850s. Okay, Charles. So could you take us with you, please? Your
there's actually
haunted tour. Oh wow.
There's actually. I need to watch what I'm saying. Right. I need to watch what I'm saying, but there's actually a place where I stay. Right. I'm not going to, because again, I've got people in the village that watch me. Right. There's actually a place in my village that's got really grim history about it, and I bet a lot of folk don't know about it. I'm not telling you where it is in the village, but I'll say it's in my village, right?
Well, now they're going to be looking it up.
But they'll not be able to find it up because it's not anywhere. It's it's only by word of mouth this happened, but it's actually true what happened, because I know people involved. It's a house in Douglas, and what it used to be, it was a 3-story house. And what happened was terrible, terrible, terrible thing. And depression is a terrible thing. And if you're depressed, please seek help, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, if you're depressed and you're suicidal, please seek help. Call the Samaritans, call somebody, and talk to them.
Yeah.
Well, long story short, the woman committed suicide in the bath, but she cut her wrists, right? Do you know, after that happened, they turned the top story off and then lowered the roof to make it into a 2-story. And I always wondered why they did that.
They lowered the roof?
They lowered the roof. Right, so imagine you had the living room, then you had the upstairs rooms, then you had the upstairs rooms, and then a roof. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what they basically done was they chopped the middle section out, got rid of that, and dropped the roof.
Oh my goodness.
Because of what happened. And it's an old story. I can exactly where that house is. Exactly where it is in my head right now. I'm thinking about it, and I get weird vibes when I walk past there.
But do you know what? When you're saying that, Chris, I still believe, this is what I believe in. Even if you chop that block of history away, it's still in the home. So I just think it's kind of like cutting it off, putting it in the background, and pretending it didn't happen. Well, it did happen, and so they're kind of cutting that bit off to bring the roof down.
I was actually talking to a couple of old people about this. It's in my village in Scotland. I don't think you're moving to my village, Eric. But anyway, what do you call it? I actually was having a conversation with somebody one day about this, and I says, why did they do that? Why did they knock it down? He says, oh, weird things are happening. And I says, what do you mean weird things were happening? I says, oh, just weird things were happening. And they wouldn't get into it. They would not talk about it, and they just said it had to be knocked down.
Now, you see, Eric is moving over to Scotland. And Eric has been saying that now for a while, that he's moving over to Scotland. So, Eric, you got to get in contact with Chris and go and investigate with Chris.
Aye. You're coming to the old land, aye.
He sounds like a pirate, but
I do sound like a pirate when I do that, don't I? Arr, I tell you that now.
Well, I tell you now, Chris, the way your fucking knee is going, you're going to have to end up with a wooden freaking leg.
Oh, that was terrible. It's terrible. It was funny because, see, last Sunday when we went to that graveyard, you should see me try to get out the car.
Listen, hold on. Myself and Louise went out to a location a few months ago, and it was a wall the height of your knee, okay? And we went in and we had a look around and so on. And we came back and we're going to get off the wall. And I said, Louise, I'll not get off that wall. And so, and so Louise, it was such a funny day, a funny time when we're getting off the wall. Getting up on the wall to go into where we were going was fine. Getting off the wall, and yet it was the height of your knee, a little bit above, but something you could get off, like, just put your foot down. I get on all my fours
No,
to reverse myself to get off that wall.
what happened with me is right. I'm quite an unusual person. Right? I'll park in the most strangest places. There'll be a car parked across me, but I'll just park next to the wall anyway. It was an incline. It was an incline, and there was this big high wall. And I says to Alan sitting next to me, says, "I'll just park there. I'll be fine." So I put it up. I wasn't blocking any roads. I've been a few times. There's been a few folk peeked at me, but never was a story for a long time. And I've parked next to the wall, right? So my car has got quite big doors. Right?
Aye.
Getting out was all right. It was getting back in. It was the difficult bit.
Why?
But because I had to kind of stretch in, my leg was sticking out, and it was serious. God, good. Well, there was the car park was full, so I had to park there.
I can hear Alan like moaning and saying, "Oh, you're getting there, dude.
You didn't tell you. Can you be watching this now? I'll be sitting here.
Alan, my knees.
I nearly fell out. You didn't see it in camera, but I nearly fell over in the graveyard.
Did you really?
Like when I handed because Alan was actually filming with the new camera. I wandered away to take pictures.
These are called the real things about, going out to locations. I mean, if I fell or Louise fell, we would keep them up. I mean, I wouldn't give a shit. I'd keep them up. If I fell on location and, I fell, I'd say Louise goes, I'll take it out. No, keep it in because
Alan, fell. There's a big stone that Alan, there was a ring round about it, and it was a big sword. It was a real sword in the stone. Yeah. And it was in place, and it was something to do with the Knights of the Realm. I can't remember exactly what it was to do with. And Alan climbed over the fence, and I was looked down, and I seen the wee golems run about the church.
Yeah, gargoyles.
That church has been turned into a house, but it's still an active graveyard. They're still burying people.
Okay, that's all right. That's okay.
Do you know what I found really strange about this stuff? The guy's living room looked onto the new graveyard. Can you imagine sitting there?
I like that.
Imagine sitting there eating your dinner. You're sitting there eating your dinner.
Excuse me.
And there's a funeral in front of you.
Well, no, I don't want that. No.
Well, anyway, on the way back, there was wee gravestones. Wee stumpy gravestones. Well, they're not actually wee, they're quite big. It's just sunk into the ground for all the years. So these are from maybe for the 13th century or something like that. The way back, I tripped. I nearly fell over. And I started shouting. I started saying, what a stupid place to put a gravestone, because it was right on the path. But maybe that wasn't the path at the time. Maybe it was just the way through.
Yeah.
But Alan, luckily, was away out filming. Oh, no. And I went out to take some pictures of the wee goblin about the church. I was limping about. My limping's terrible. I can't walk very far now without my legs gone.
You can't walk very far without your legs gone.
I know. I need a wheelchair. I could video and push me about,
I tell you, I swear to God. I mean, if you come up to Ireland, myself and Louise will take you, and myself, Louise, and Niall will take you to places castles. There's a lot of steps.
That's all right. These are two strong girls. You can carry me up.
Me arse will tell you. Louise half nearest has to carry me up the freaking stairs. Jenny, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, my knee. But you know what? It's getting better. It's all getting better. So we're all young and youthful again. We're all doing good.
What's that, Eric Thompson? That's what they said to me when I was taken to the Church of Scotland. That if there was a family stuff alive, I have to let them bury there. Is he on a church or something?
And if I was talking to the Church of Scotland, that if the family stuff there, I have to bury. Eric, do you have family in Scotland? My dog is snoring in the background.
He's dreaming.
Yeah.
Echo. Hear that? That's unusual.
Is it?
Aye. Did you realize doesn't happen this?
Does it not? Would it be my dog? Would it be my microphone?
No, it's the spirits. We're watching us. We're actually doing a thing tomorrow night on Bald and Bonkers, and it's a communication thing with the alien thing. And tomorrow night, you want to tune into that because weird things happen. Really weird things happen. I've actually got.
Oh. Eric was saying he was going to buy a church and turn it into a house. Eric, you do know we're all coming over to your house for, like, dinner. Is that the new K2?
Mm-hmm. I've checked it, everything written about me. There's nothing flash, but see if you take it near a phone.
It will go off. Yeah. Yep.
So I've went round this room everywhere, and I can where there's energy points and there's no. But they're the new K2 meter. What I like about these, see the old K2 meters? Yeah, I put that in the low set. It's got my phone number on the back. Yeah. But anyway, you had to open it with a screwdriver to change the battery.
Do you? Yeah. Okay.
Well, see this one. It's got a battery box.
Well, I don't know what we have. I can't remember what we have. I mean, I think we have to do the same thing. I'm not too sure. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm just saying, like, now I'm looking at now, and Eric's saying he's going over to Scotland to buy a church and turn it into a house. And I said to Eric, we are going over for a dinner. And Eric said, yeah. So Eric, yes, we'll be going to your house. When you go to Scotland and you get a church and you make it into a home, we shall be there.
See, that's something that I don't know. I mean, it's like taking a church and turning it into a home. I mean, how do people feel about that?
Why not? I mean, why not? I think it would be. I've seen homes that have been turned in from churches into homes. I've seen that, and it would actually look absolutely spectacular.
There's a few near me. There's quite a few. About 5. Yeah.
It looked, and the outside, the exterior looked amazing. To go inside and to do the decor on the inside as a church, there's nothing you need to do to the walls or the doors because they're already done for you. And then you just add in your things into it and to make it into a home. It looks amazing. And then you walk up into the altar, and the altar would have been your middle aisle for your kitchen.
Yeah.
And so you're cooking on the altar, and basically, what would have been an aisle. But I've seen that, and I just thought, oh yes, I definitely want to live there. And they walk up spiral steps into your bedroom. Yeah, why not?
I'll tell you how many there is near me. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 5. There's one in the village. It's called Rigside. They've got one. There's one in my village that's been turned into one. A lot of people don't realise it was a church, but it is a church. It's across from the petrol station. I heard it. Did you hear that?
What? I whistled because my dog was snoring.
No, I heard a man's voice there.
I put my phone onto mute, my microphone onto mute.
That was weird. That I thought at 48 minutes in, I thought I heard a voice. It's strange that. There's a place near me. It's called the highest village in Scotland. It's called Walnut Head. And then there's Lead Hills, and there's 2 churches there that's been turned into houses.
I think, why not? I would live in a church house. I would.
Would you?
Yes, I would, actually.
Do you know that my grandmother had a brother? She had 7 brothers and 2 sisters. That's a big family. Didn't have much to do in the days, ladies and gentlemen. This is going back to the 1913, 1914, stuff like that. Do you know what she came at his job as? He was a grave digger. One of her brothers was a grave digger. And his house was right in the cemetery.
Okay. Makes sense. We're close to home. Okay.
And in the olden days, this is going back to the 1920s, they used to do it by hand with a lantern and stuff as it was getting dark and stuff. Now it's a machine. I know people that do the grave digging now, and it's actually quite interesting to watch. I know actually, and there's people that watch this show, and there's people subscribe to me that are actually they look after the local graves, and I've seen it getting done, and it's a really interesting how they do it now. But see, in the olden days, it was different. They did it all by hand.
Well, they had to. They had to, do it by hand. They had to dig. They had to dig.
But this is what I'm gonna. There's a lot of churches with vaults that
Yes.
have been turned into whole houses. You see where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Downstairs, there's coffins with people in them.
Say that again?
Downstairs, there's coffins with people in them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And homes.
Yeah. And churches, there's one in Lead Hills near me, and the church is underneath it. It's got vaults, and there's 26 people and stone coffins under the church, but it's been turned into a house.
But that's fine, because that's their resting place. Yeah, that's fine. That's their resting place. I mean, I know I always say to Louise, when we're going to the bathroom, I say, Louise, hey, you're going to the bathroom, and she could be asleep, and I'd wake her up and say, hey, Louise, you're going to the bathroom? No, I don't have to. You're going now because I have to go. So, no, she doesn't get up. Maybe she does, and God bless her, she does as well. And we go to the bathroom and so on. But, I do that now to this day when we're doing investigations.
Well, it's like,
if I lived in a home that was a church and there was people buried underneath me, I would think fine. But I would also think as well, when I'm having a jam upstairs in my kitchen when I'm cooking food with a glass of wine, and I'm going, dance music or 80s music or 90s music, are they pissed off downstairs because I'm having a disco in my kitchen when I'm cooking food?
they're probably standing watching you.
Well, I don't mind I don't mind if they do that. You don't mind that I do that. That, oh, you're disrespecting me when I just want to go 80s and 90s, glass of wine, cooking food, and there's they're all laid underneath me, and I just want to make sure that would not be a problem. Like your neighbors, on the wall,
it's like the
and
people
on the floor.
It's like the people that will buy an old undertaker's house, right? Well, and in the cellar, there'll be all the utensils that you used to use, like for like draining the blood and stuff like that, and embalming them. And then they'll complain about this. Then they'll buy it. They'll go and look at it. They'll buy it, and then they'll raise the question after they bought it. Oh, I think it's haunted. Why? And obviously, it's going to be haunted. Embalming fluid getting pumped into you doing under the stairs. I mean, because there's been haunting cases like that in the United States because people have bought places like that.
Obviously, bought mortuary homes and made it into homes that they want to live in. And some I watched one on I can't remember where I watched it on, but it was like they bought a what's that home that coffins go and lay in, the wake home or something like that.
It's the room of rest or something. It's an American thing. British people don't do that.
So a family bought this home, and I watched it, and I just thought, oh Lord Jesus, take the way. Please don't make me mute my microphone to say exactly what I think. But I thought they were absolutely.
I know.
So I had to just say that when I muted my microphone, and they were like, we're gonna get this, we're gonna get this up, we're gonna get that up, and I just thought, oh fuck. Sorry, I just said that. I whispered that, but I just said it.
I thought it was
stupid. It was stupid.
Yeah.
And I think they I mean, the home is a and the word won't come to my mind. My dog is still in the background. What the home is. It's a funeral home.
Yeah.
And they bought it and made it into their own home. And so each room was dark, and one room had a coffin as a bar, and so on and so on. And I just thought,
yep, exactly. You're muted, by the way. Did you know?
I know I muted it because I was cursing.
Yeah.
I muted because I was cursing. And it was just so typically bloody stupid. But the home looked amazing, but it was kind of like, oh my God. And I'm like, I just can't. But the home looked great. And the neighbors who were elderly around them, knowing that half their family ended up in this home, in the estate where they live. And they were saying, do you mind if sorry if I'm doing a bad American accent, but I'm doing it. Do you mind we turned this into a home and like blah 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 blah. And they all went in to visit this home where the families used to lay out, and and it was just. I'm just gonna whistle here now.
You're going to get idiots. You're going to get these people that are total idiots that go to these locations, and they're quite simply they're idiots because did you see that in the United States? I think it was a couple of months. I think it was about 6 months ago. I think it was longer, to be honest with you. The funeral home that was found.
Found.
No, there was you kind of get the urban explorers.
Kind of American.
There was actually I'm not talking about the first funeral home that they found. It was the second one. Somebody had said that there was a strange smell coming for this abandoned funeral home. But the thing, it wasn't abandoned. They just left everything. There was over 200 bodies. They just piled it all up. It was meant to be one of these places where your bodies were getting cremated, but the machine was broken.
Oh,
so they were saying that they were saying that the bodies were getting cremated or buried or whatever, but they weren't burying them. They were just shoving them in the cupboard and opening the door, and when that cupboard was full up, they just filled the in up.
Nope, we're not doing that. Nope, that's just nope, we're not doing that.
I mean,
nope.
Yeah,
that's just.
I know, but this is the thing. That building has now been emptied, right?
Right.
What's to stop somebody buying that land, knocking it down, and building houses there?
Nothing is to stop them. If the land is for sale, the land is for sale. Whoever lives in it, God bless them. And I hope you have a fantastic freaking experience. I hope you have a great time. And you know who to call. Lulu said, I couldn't live in a place that was a morgue. Too much energy in the place. I wouldn't be able to relax. Louise, I must send you on the link where a family had bought a morgue. And they were doing it up. My dog is snoring. They were doing it up at the home, and it looked amazing at the end of it. A little OTT, and the elderly neighbors came over to see them, but it was a lot. It was definitely a lot. Hold on.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just telling my dog to stop snoring. Eric is saying I can read lips. Good American accent, Jen. Did you read my lips, what I said, Eric? Oh, that's the one, Pamela. We bought a funeral home and Discovery Plus. That's the one. That's the one. It was a family of they had a daughter and a son of teenage years, something like that, and they bought it. And the wife just wanted everything, and she was overspending, and she wanted everything, and everything had to be a coffin, and everything had to be this. And they'd all have a room each of their own in the, at night before the home was properly renovated. And they'd all wake up saying, did you hear this? Did you hear that? I know I didn't hear. You're in a bloody funeral home.
Yeah.
You are going to have residents or like something like that, residual and so on from that home. You're going to have it. So, and it's TV like, did you hear that? Did you hear that? And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, look, I'm going to say this now. If you knowingly buy a funeral home and you don't research it and you don't look into it to see if it's haunted, don't come running into a paranormal investigator saying, listen, I think there's demonic entities in there. I don't think they'll be demonic. I just think they'll be pissed off. That
if it's
that's the thing that's the thing that annoys me. A lot of folk have said to me, oh, Chris, I think I've got a demon in my house. And I'm like, look, you've not got a demon in your house. For starters, I think you would know if you had a demon in your house, right? And I says, what's happening? Oh, now and again, you might see a shadow and something might move occasionally. And I says, if there's a demon in your house, I can tell you something right now, you're going to notice a lot more than that.
I tell you, if you're going to buy a house that is, thank you, Charles. It's got to go. Thank you, Charles, for tuning in. Thank you for commenting. We have a show on tomorrow night. I have a show on tomorrow night. Myself and Lulu has a show on tomorrow night with a fantastic guest. That post will be up later. But thank you for watching and have a great night, Charles. Have a great rest of your evening and night. We'll definitely talk to you later.
And may the ghosties visit you in the night, Charles.
Yes.
Every day. Jenny will come and help.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. So
Remember, guys. Oh, I was just going to say, remember, guys, could you go and subscribe to Jenny's channel, Emerald's
Jenny and Louise and Niall's channel. It's Jenny, Louise, and Niall's channel. It's Emerald Isle Paranormal Researchers on YouTube.
You need to go and subscribe. You need to see that the Emerald Isles in the chat here, guys. Just click on that and subscribe. You're nearly at 1,000 subscribers now, anyway.
Almost there, you know, but we put out good content and we work our arses off. And Louise never stops doing, like, God bless her, she never stops doing it. Now, I always say it, and I've said it before, she never stops doing videos. I'm learning how to do them, but she never stops doing videos. And I do the audio, and I haven't done audio in a few weeks because I had things going on, but and I couldn't get my headspace around doing audio, but I'll get back into it. Just too much going on. But Louise does not. When she showed me a clip of what she was doing for the YouTube video from Hellfire Club, it is fantastic. And it's not like, you know, a little bit. It's kind of like you have to blend everything in together, and she's doing all of that. And
I heard a story the other day, but I don't know if it's true or not, that the Hellfire Club in Ireland's getting bought out and it's getting made into a private. You have to pay to get in.
Already have been bought.
Yeah.
Waiting for the work to happen. So it's not a place that you can go up to. No, we can still go up to it freely, but until that work starts, you can't. You know, but the only thing I want the Hellfire to do is give me a goddamn lift up those hills, because I'm not walking up them anymore.
They put a chairlift in.
What?
They could put a chairlift in, like you get at skiing slopes, everybody could sit.
That's what I'm hoping that they will have in, because I tell you, you're not getting many people up if you have to walk up them, unless they're hikers. And I am no hikers. I swear.
Oh my God.
Poor Niall had to carry half my bags on the way up the last time we were there. And my bag was behind me, and Niall was carrying a bag and something else as well. And Niall said, "Jenny, you want me to carry a bag?" And then, no, I'm grand. And Louise said, "Jenny, oh, Niall, will you carry Jenny's bag?" And I'm like, no, it's grand. And I was like, when I was going like, he goes, "Okay, Jenny, give me her bag."
Well, but look, the Christmas season is upon us. The snow and the ice is coming. And you've got to be doing any more investigations before.
Yes, we do. Yes, you do. I'm going to read one more thing from Charles. I really have enjoyed this. I'm glad you guys have fun with it. Now, got to go. Love and light. Thank you so much, Charles. Thank you for watching in. We are going to end the show now in about 2 tickety boos. But thank you so much for watching it. It was just kind of one of those quick shows. So do we have things coming up? Yes, we do. We have an investigation on the 24th of November. We are going to the Drogheda Museum in Millmount. We're going back there and, just pick up from where we left a while ago. And then after that, we could take a break. What it seemed might take a break. And myself and Lulu, when she's a day off work, you never know what Jenny and Lulu gets up to in the daytimes. You know, will we go traveling? Will we go for a day excursion somewhere? You never know. We don't know. We don't know.
Why do you do a UFO hunt for a change?
Well, I've said to Lou, and Lou said to me before as well, we should go up to one of the mountains and camp. And Louise, if you're still here, I think we should go up to one of the mountains somewhere, especially when it gets warmer. And always on our bucket list to go up and just have a little bit of not just your normal equipment, like a recorder, pen and paper as usual, cat balls, but you gotta. I mean, we know cat balls as cat balls.
I don't know if aliens have ever made contact using cat balls.
Well, you see that they have never met Jenny and Louise yet, have they?
They're in for a treat. Is all I'm going to say.
In for a treat.
I'll have to get the camera. You know.
Now look, you have to show it. Look, Louise. Look what Chris made. We need one of these. Well, we had one. I had one of them, but the thingamajig broke. But you made a good thing out of that. It looks great.
But it takes batteries and stuff like that too. That's my new camera, guys. It's my new 4K camera. See.
It looks good, and it's so much.
It's got a wide-angle lens on it, which makes a big difference. I just got that in the other day.
It looks so much easier to use, and you have your IR light, and your microphone, and your battery.
I'll tell you that. I was at my back, and I turned it on, and it's the night vision on. It's absolutely brilliant.
Fabulous, isn't it?
Aye, it's absolutely amazing. You can there's like the back of my garden's got like a big fence, and it was jet black. And I
So
turned
do
it
you know
on. I
what,
could.
Chris? We need more nighttime videos from you than
Ooh.
daytime in graveyards. We need nighttime.
Alan,
Yeah.
Alan.
Alan,
There's a box of tonics tea cakes in the graveyard if you want to go and get it the now.
you just have to go and sniff them out and find them, Alan. And Alan will
Find them. It's not that big. There's only like 20,000 folk buried there. 20,000 headstones. You should be fine. You'll be able to find it.
You'll be grand. You'll be all right. Just come with me.
They'll be handy because there's a lot of like tombs near me, and I could hold the camera in and turn on the AR mode.
Yes.
And be able to light up the inside.
Yeah, I know. It's a great piece to use. It's called they use something, like I said tonight. I forget what it's called. But they are definitely, and you can hold it up without holding your camera and your phone and just shaking. You hold this, and it brings you around. And sometimes you can get a strap and put it onto your shoulder, and so on and so on. You know, it's a good piece. Definitely, the more steadier the camera for an investigation, the better. I know I have the body camera. Louise had the body camera. We have steady cameras and so on. But hold on, I need to tell my dog to stop.
Dog's snoring, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, she
stops. I'll be snoring shortly because I've taken my knee pill and it's starting to fail.
Listen, I don't know how you're not a freaking pirate now
I honestly look. I'll tell you something. It's quite funny with Alan because Alan will go, "Gee whiz, Chris, you look like you're in pain." Well,
he said what? Sorry,
he'll go, "Gee whiz, Chris, you look like you're in pain." And I says, "Yeah, I'm limping about like Long John Silver."
Then I swear to Lord Jesus, take the wheel, Chris. And Jenny goes, "Oh no, Jenny, and I'm like, Chris.
Somebody says to me the other day, I don't sound Scottish enough.
Oh, listen. I asked you what twice tonight because I couldn't understand what you said.
Hey, I'll tell you the new. Hey, I'm going to say potatoes. Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Oh my God, the show is just slowly spiraling out of control.
It is a little bit, just a little bit. Not enough, but just a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, please tune in to Jenny's show tomorrow night. What time is live at?
We are live at 9:30 p.m. We have a fantastic guy, Michael Wong from Washington State. It will be 1:30 p.m. in Washington State area. The other areas, just look up 9:30 p.m. European time, which would be Ireland, obviously, and check your time zones out because I'm too tired to do it. But we will be live, and you will see it. But we have Michael Wong.
Ireland's the same as in Spain and France, and that they're like an hour in front. So
so it's well, yes, so it'll be like European time, UK time.
Yeah.
UK time.
Yeah. So there you go.
So it'll be 9:30 p.m. UK time, but we are in Ireland. So you know, that's what I'm just saying. Just saying.
You have to go across the sea.
So we have a fantastic YouTuber. Michael Wong will be on with us tomorrow night. He's been on with Shadow Whispers in the Night a few times before, and he's been on with Ghost Scotland as well, myself and Chris. He's a fantastic guy. He's an amazing YouTuber, and we're looking forward to Emerald Isle working with him in the near future. So that will be myself and Louise will be hosting tomorrow night. So looking forward to do that tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. UK time.
Before I go, ladies and gentlemen, remember, subscribe, share, and like. Please subscribe to all the channels. A wee share now and again. Absolutely great. And everybody stay amazing. And there'll be a Paranormal Uncut next week. We'll be getting deep and dark into maybe Hollywood.
I already have
and talking about the Illuminati.
I already have a subject for it. I already have subject name
so
for
that's
it.
What we're doing. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. I am now off to my bed. That's you.
I'm off to the bathroom.
Yeah. We're all going to bed now. We're getting old, you see. Oh dear. Can I get pills in my memory, but I can't remember what I did with them.
Mhm.
I know. I need
Thank you for joining us on this exciting adventure with Ghost Squad Scotland. Our team of experienced ghost hunters use the latest technology to explore the paranormal and uncover the truth about the unknown. Don't forget that we're affiliated with Spirit Shack, the UK's premier ghost hunting equipment store, so you can trust our equipment to be top-notch. Plus, we have exclusive Ghost Squad Scotland merch available on our Zazzle store, so you can show your support for the team in style. And if you can't get enough of our ghost hunting adventures, be sure to tune into the Bald and Bonkers TV network to catch our show in action. Content creators can even have their own content syndicated on the network, or create their own custom online TV channel by visiting baldandbonkers.net. Thank you for your support. And remember to always keep an open mind as we continue to explore the mysteries of the paranormal with Ghost Squad Scotland.